Hi, if you want to watch exclusive content with hot girls that you won't watch on YouTube, namely where Naruto roasts Kushina and Mikoto and many other hot girls without restrictions, then visit my Boosty channel at the link in the description. In the underground kingdom of demons, in a high castle, the newly minted Demon King sat on the throne. His skin was gray, he preferred to wear dark colors. Enormous black, like darkness, horns twisted almost to his head, his name was Abigor. It was he who was able to defeat the previous ruler in a fair fight and gain his power. A demon appeared near him. "My lord, that old man asks to speak with you again." "What does he say?" "About some kind of prediction." "Bring him here," the king ordered. After some time, a very old demon was kneeling in front of him. "I greet you," said the old man. "Get to the point." "Well, the former ruler predicted your appearance in this palace, and that you would take his place on the throne." "So what?" "He made a second prediction. A boy with a difficult fate was born in the human world. He was given great power. It is this boy who will become the new Demon King in the future, and such that all the previous ones cannot compete with him." "Why are you telling me this?" "In his predictions he said that it was you who would make him the strongest king." "Oh, come on. I didn't come all the way up here for this. I've come a long, hard way, and I'm not going to waste my time on this boy. Nothing can be done about it." "Well, if that's the case, then deal with him yourself. But first, bring him to me." Meanwhile, in the human world. October 10th. Konoha is celebrating a day of mourning for the people who died in the battle with the nine-tailed beast. A blonde 5-year-old boy lay in his bed, trying not to think about the possible danger. On this day, he was constantly getting into trouble from all the villagers. Often, they broke into his house, smashed everything, and beat the boy half to death. Then an old man with a cane appeared in the middle of his room. His skin was red, he wore a regular gray kimono. A long gray beard hung from his face, and 2 broken horns were visible on his forehead. "W. Who are you? Have you come to kill me?" the blonde asked in fear. "No, that's not why I'm here." "Your name is Naruto, right?" "Yes," the boy said with less fear. "I am one of the advisors of the great Abigor. You have the great honor of meeting him. Take my hand, I will not hurt you," the old man said confidently. Naruto hesitated for a long time, but still gave his hand. "Wait, what's your name?" "My name is Damilurg." After these words, they found themselves in the palace in front of a high staircase leading to large doors. Damilurg led the boy up the steps. At the door, they were met by tall figures in armor, with kerchiefs on their faces. The old man nodded to them, and they opened the doors. A spacious room appeared before them, at the end of which was a golden throne. On this throne sat the Demon King. Coming closer, Damilurg sat down on one knee, but Naruto did not notice this and simply stood up. "And this is the boy you told me about. I don't see anything special about him," Abigor said. "Believe me, this is the future ruler." "Okay, tell him everything here and find him a teacher. Report the results tomorrow." "Okay, tell him everything here and find him a teacher. Report the results tomorrow," said Abigor. "Yes, my lord," the old man bowed. Then the two left. "Damilurg, who is this? And why is he so strong?" "I couldn't even say a word." "This is the current Demon King, you are in his palace." "So you're a demon too? You kill people?" "Yes, I'm a demon, like everyone here." "And no, we don't kill people, it's a waste of time, they're too weak. Now I'll tell you how everything works here." Just then they came out of the castle. They had a beautiful view of the settlement. Even though everything was red, it made the place even more beautiful. Demons are divided into 3 categories: high, middle, and low. Let's start with the low. These are ordinary warriors. Almost all of them have very pumped up bodies to surpass high-level demons in any way. One such demon is equal in strength to 500 ordinary shinobi. There are about 200,000 of them. "Genin or Chunin?" Naruto asked. "Jonin. So, they make up almost our entire army." Next come the medium demons. They are tall and always wear armor, and a white scarf on their face. Most often, they are the commanders of squads. Their strength is comparable to 10,000 jonin. There are about 50,000 of them. Why do they wear a headscarf? Their gaze instantly kills all beings weaker than themselves. So, it's time for the greater demons. They are the smallest unit of all, only 100 demons. But their power is comparable to all shinobi, and this is only one demon. Almost every one of them has their own special power. Damilurg, what demons do you belong to? I am the smartest demon, and I am a higher demon. But I have no special ability. And the king? He was originally a half-breed, a middle and lower demon. But he was not accepted into the middle, he always lived in the back alleys and gateways. Then he joined one of the army units. There he rose to high ranks, and after some time he was able to gain power and defeat the Demon King. No one knows how he did it, but the fact remains. He is the current lord. Do you want to know anything else? Yes. How and where do all these demons live? This kingdom is very large. Around the king's palace, a city is built within a kilometer radius. In this city live the middle demons and the high-ranking demons. The lower ones live in the villages around the city. The higher demons live in the castle together with the lord. What am I going to do here? Naruto finally asked the most important question. You must become the next overlord. But first, you must train and live here. What about my world? Yes, you are still a human. This environment is not quite suitable for your life. Okay, you will study in your world. Now I will take you to the village, and you will make a contract with one of the lower demons. He will develop your physical abilities. With anyone? And they won't attack me? No, as I said, people are of no use to them. Your souls are too weak. I will not help you. You must find yourself a teacher. Good luck, I will watch you, said the old man and disappeared. Naruto went to the village. Everyone was looking at him but did nothing. The blonde felt uneasy from so many eyes. He accidentally bumped into someone and almost fell. Hey, what are you doing here? Who let a human in here? Said the demon. He had bright red skin, he was 2.5 meters tall, and his horns frightened almost everyone present. I'm Naruto, the boy said, as if in a voice that wasn't his own. You will be my teacher, Naruto said in the same voice. Yes, said the demon, sitting down on one knee. Then Damilurg appeared. Well done, Naruto, now let's go, said the old man. Damilurg, why were they all looking at me like that? I thought they were going to attack me, but nothing happened. Naruto asked. There is a 9-tailed demon inside you. He and the lower demons have old scores to settle, and they didn't attack you because you have enormous demonic power. Kyubi, but how? I thought he died 5 years ago. No, it was sealed inside you, but I won't tell you all the details. Hey old man, what do I need to do to make a contract with a demon? Naruto asked. You must bite your finger and give a drop of blood to the demon with whom you want to make a contract. The blonde did as he was told. And after that, a ring with the inscription Sharon appeared in his hand. And on the demon's neck, a tattoo with the name Naruto appeared. The name of the demon you have subdued is written on the ring. He will come if you say this name. Damilurg explained. Sharon, this is the commander of the 70th squad. How could he subjugate him to his will? He really is that boy from the prophecy. The old man said to himself. Okay, what next? Naruto asked. We're going to the human world. Damilurg said and teleported everyone to Naruto's house. Sharon barely fit in at full height and began to wait for orders. Naruto, go to the training ground alone, then summon Sharon and start training. I'll come in a month. The old man said and disappeared. The blonde went to an abandoned training ground where no one had trained for a long time. He put on the ring and said the name of the demon. Only a moment passed and Sharon appeared in front of Naruto. Where shall we begin? After warming up, run 20 laps around the training ground, then do 5 sets of 30 push-ups, the same amount of press. But first, take these weights. They are made in such a way that they will increase their weight by 5 kilograms per day. Before Naruto could object, Sharon turned around and went to the clearing. There was nothing else to do, so the blonde went for a run. The first 5 laps were easy for him, but with each subsequent one it became more and more difficult. Naruto was able to endure only thanks to his willpower. And this was just a warm-up, and not even the whole thing. Half an hour later, Uzumaki approached the demon, who had made some strange devices during this time. "I'm done, what is this?" Naruto asked. "These are exercise machines, we will use them rarely, but they will pump up your muscles greatly. Now I will show you how to use them correctly, then you will try them yourself," said Sharon. The demon showed and explained everything very well, but you wouldn't know it from his appearance. Then he showed techniques from regular taijutsu. 5 hours passed like this. The training was already over and they were just sitting. "Sharon, what did the nine-tailed one do?" It seems that it was his second Jinchuriki. He died in the war. And Kyuubi was so furious that he managed to enter our world. He began to indiscriminately kill the lesser demons. Soon the death toll exceeded 10,000. Then the greater demons came, they pacified him. But since then, we, the lesser demons, hate the nine tails. What about me? I'm his Jinchuriki, right? You are my master, I cannot go against you. Especially since the Kyuubi is still sleeping in you. Sharon, do you have a family? Naruto changed the subject. Yes, I have a son too, he is 12. Wow. Will you introduce us? If you want it. I really want to. Bring him to training tomorrow. And now you can go, they're probably already waiting for you, Naruto said. Thank you, said Sharon and disappeared. Meanwhile, Damalurg arrived at the king's chamber. Hello, my lord. Speak. Naruto went to the village. Sharon was passing by. He was able to subdue him. Today, Sharon conducted one training for him. Sharon is the strongest lesser demon. It turns out this boy is not as bad as I thought. Yes, my lord. Okay, tell me about his successes in a month, said Abigor. Okay, tell me about his successes in a month, said Abigor. The old man bowed and left. The next day in the human world. Naruto woke up early today. He got up, washed himself, had a sandwich and went to the training ground. The blonde called Sharon. He appeared with his son. Hello, my name is Haruchi, I'm 12, said the son of Sharon, extending his hand to Naruto. I'm Naruto, I'm 5, I hope we can become friends, Uzumaki said, extending his hand in response. Sharon said to start the warm-up. This time it was much easier for Naruto, because he had an opponent. This training was almost no different from the previous one, only today there were no exercise machines. So a month passed. Damalurg watched Naruto from the shadows all this time. Now it was time to report on the boy's results. My lord, I have come to tell you about Naruto's successes. Get to the point. Good. He mastered regular taijutsu in 2 weeks and began studying the defensive taijutsu of the demon world. He also began training with chakra, can walk on wood and water. His demonic energy also increased. How much do you value her? I don't know for sure, but it's probably already bigger than Karen's. Okay, how long do you think it will take him to finish his training with Sharon? 2 months. Great, then bring him to me after this. You can go. Meanwhile in the human world, Naruto and Haruchi waited for instructions from Sharon. So, the demon began. Yesterday, you learned the last technique of defensive taijutsu, and today you will learn the offensive style. Where do we start? Naruto asked in anticipation. I will not teach you. Each person develops an attacking fighting style on their own, this will be your test. Now we will go to the monster forest, you must spend 2 months there, during which time you will be able to come up with and practice your techniques on animals, said Sharon. The demon snapped his fingers and the boys found themselves at the entrance to the forest, but not near the village, but on the other side. Naruto looked at his hand, but there was no summoning ring there. What are we going to do? Uzumaki asked. What do you mean? Of course, to carry out the test. But why? To develop their style, demons are one of the strongest races, not only because of the strength of high-level demons, also because it is impossible to predict the actions of opponents in close combat, Haruchi said and ran into the forest. Naruto didn't stand either, he climbed a tree to get a better look at the area. In the center of the forest, he saw a huge black tree that stood out against the red trees. There was a small clearing around the tree. Most likely, the strongest monsters live there. Although they're later, the blonde said to himself. 2 months passed. Naruto was sitting in the lotus position in that same clearing near the black tree. The blonde was sitting with his eyes closed and listening to every rustle. Suddenly, he got up from his place and jumped to the side. A 5-meter white tiger landed on the spot where Uzumaki had just been. Naruto knocked him down with one blow, then landed on his chest and pierced it with his hand. Soon, Sharon appeared, holding his son on his shoulder. "Well done, Naruto, you did it. I'm returning your summoning ring. This concludes our training." "Thank you, Sharon. Well, I'll go to Damalurg. Tell me when Haruchi gets better," Naruto said and went to the castle. "Hello, old man. I have finished my training with Sharon. What next?" "We'll find you a new teacher, but first let's go to the king." "We'll find you a new teacher, but first let's go to the king." "For what?" "He wants to see you." Damalurg headed to the king's chamber, and the blonde followed him. As always, the old man bowed to his lord. "Well, hello, Naruto. It's only been 3 months, but I can already feel the difference. Looks like Sharon did a great job. Would you be so kind as to demonstrate your demon aura to me? You can control it, right?" "Yes, but not all of it. I'll show my maximum," Naruto said and released only half of his energy, since if he took more, he wouldn't be able to control such power. "Oh, wonderful, an aura comparable to your teacher. Since there are high hopes for you, I will show my aura," Abigor said and rose from the throne. Damalurg began to get nervous from such a statement. "My lord, you..." The old man tried to object. "If he really is the next king, then he must endure," Abigor said menacingly. The demon released his aura. Damalurg was immediately pressed to the floor, and Naruto remained standing as if nothing had happened. "Excellent, resistance to the power of aura, you are the true heir to the throne. I will wait for your arrival to the battle for the throne, Uzumaki Naruto," Abigor said, removing his aura. Damalurg did not hear or see anything due to the enormous power of the king. "Okay. Old man, let's go find a new teacher," Naruto exclaimed. "Why?" "Yes." They headed to the city. Damalurg again hid and watched the blonde's actions. Uzumaki walked around the city, trying to feel decent demonic energy for half a day, and finally it happened. Naruto ran up to this demon and slapped him on the armor. The 5-meter-tall one turned his head in his direction. "I'm Naruto, be my teacher," the blonde said again in a voice that wasn't his own. After these words, the demon knelt down on one knee. Naruto took him to the entrance of the castle. There he did the same thing as with Sharon. A new ring with the name Lucifel appeared in his hand. Damalurg appeared here. And again the commander of a squad, and what a squad. Lucifel is the commander of the 10th squad, the most powerful. It consists exclusively of middle demons. So he rightfully calls himself the strongest middle demon, the old man said to himself. "Damalurg, what will Lucifel teach me?" Average demons are famous for their elemental techniques, perfect control of chakra and demonic energy. And Lucifel has a few more trump cards. So, I think you'll be with him for a long time. Wow, and all this can be done by just one demon? Great. Then I want to know more about you. Damalurg smiled and headed to his room, leaving the two behind. I am Lucifel, a medium demon, commander of the 10th division, owner of several enhanced chakra genomes, said the demon. And you are also very brief and modest, as I see. Well, okay, let's start training tomorrow. Where should I come? Just call me. The blonde nodded and went to the human world. It was midday. Naruto went for a walk around Konoha. Half an hour later he went to Ichiraku Ramen. Hello, old man Tucci, I'll have 3 medium ramen, the blonde man ordered. Coming soon. Naruto ate a hearty meal, paid, and was about to leave when he suddenly ran into a Kimichi Choji. Hey, Fatso! Watch where you're going! Naruto shouted. What? Fatso? Now you're going to get it, said Choji. You shouldn't get your hands dirty with him, he's not worth it, Yamanaka Ino said haughtily. Stop yelling, let him go, he didn't do anything to you, reasoned Nara Shikamaru. Ino and Choji listened to their friend and made way for Naruto. Uzumaki put his hands in his pockets and slowly went on his way. Slacker! All he can do is spend money on ramen and pester all the townspeople, Ino said after him, but the blonde didn't care about her words. Naruto walked until sunset and went home. Naruto walked until sunset and went home. The next morning he went to the training grounds, where he summoned Lucifer. No, that won't do. You need to train in the demon world. You're so tall that the trees can't hide your full height, Uzumaki said. They teleported to the demon world and went away from the village and the forest. What to do? Naruto asked. We will improve your chakra control. But I can already walk freely on water, isn't that enough? No, medium and high demons can walk on air thanks to their perfect chakra control. Through the air? But how much chakra does that take? A lot, but demons have plenty of it. Well, since you've mastered the basics, you can proceed to the most difficult part. Sit in the lotus position, release all the demonic energy outward. This energy will try to return to your body, but you must prevent this with the help of your chakra. Okay, I'll try. Naruto sat down on the ground and concentrated. Soon, a dome of black energy with a radius of 5 meters surrounded him. Just a huge amount of demon power, but what is this? The dome is not stable. But this only happens when the demonic energy increases. But he trains chakra control, why does the demon's power increase? Lucifer wondered. 10 minutes passed, the dome suddenly fell. Excellent, you were able to hold so much energy for 10 minutes. For a first time, that's just great. Demon praised. Naruto wordlessly released demonic energy again. So 2 months passed, the blonde's chakra control became almost perfect. But he was prevented from walking on air by the lack of chakra. Okay, now we will study elemental techniques. Since you have quite powerful demonic energy, all the elements and possibly genomes should awaken in you. And we will start with the element of fire, Lucifer said. The demon showed how the technique should look like, then slowly began to show the seals. Naruto repeated the teacher's actions and was able to use Fireball on the first try. Excellent, I never doubted you. Lucifer praised. The demon showed a few more techniques. The training came to an end. As always, after each training session Naruto stayed to sit and admire the sky. Although the sky in the demon world is not as beautiful as in the human world, there was still something to see. This time Lucifer stayed with him. Lucifer, why do the eyes of the average demons kill the weak? The blonde asked. There is an ancient story about the existence of gods. They and demons, 2 warring races. The gods multiplied very slowly. And for each of them there were about 200 lower demons. We outnumbered them, so the gods had minions, they were given a small part of the true power of the gods. Such minions began to be called angels, and those who received all the power of the gods, but were not purebred, were called archangels. The number of angels grew, the demons decided to act immediately. Everyone without exception was sent to war, even the king fought. Gradually, the demons began to outnumber the enemy. The higher demons absorbed the power and souls of angels and archangels and became more and more powerful. Then the gods entered the battle. But they too could not cope with the onslaught of the enemy. When only the Lord of the Gods remained, the demon king decided to fight one-on-one. During the battle, the king was losing, but he was ready to do anything to win, even to kill a kinsman and absorb his soul. Thus, he still defeated God. The king ordered to go back, but no one obeyed the order. Then everyone turned against the king, more than half of the troops died, but they were able to crush the king. Before his death, he cursed all the demons differently, the lower ones to be unable to use technology, the middle ones to kill the weak with a glance, and the higher ones to be unable to go against the king again. A sad story? Do you want to know anything else? No, you can go home, Naruto said, standing up and getting ready to leave for his world. Wait, I have a question. When you become stronger than me, what will you do? I'll continue to get stronger, the blonde exclaimed, waved goodbye and left. Lucifer immediately went to the palace. He entered Damalurg's room. Damalurg-sama, I have an important matter for you. It has to do with Naruto. What's happened? I have noticed for a long time that his demonic energy is constantly growing. It can cause great harm to his 5-year-old human body. I think his power needs to be sealed immediately, otherwise he will die, Lucifer said. Okay, I'll think about it, Damalurg said. Lucifer bowed and left. When the door closed, The demon immediately went to the shelf with books. There he took one and began to leaf through it. Damn! How could I miss such a detail? Demilurg said, clutching his head. Then he grabbed his cane and went to the world of people. It was already evening, the sun was setting behind the horizon, and Naruto still had not arrived. The blonde was sitting on the Hokage's heads and admiring the sunset, when he suddenly felt that Demilurg had come to this world. Uzumaki immediately jumped up and ran home. Hello, old man, did something happen? Yes, Demilurg said and touched Naruto with his cane. What did you do? The blonde asked in bewilderment. Your demonic energy is too strong for your body. I have sealed some of the power that is stored in you. You need to learn to control the energy immediately, otherwise your own power will consume you, the old man said and left the boy alone with himself. The blonde stood for a few more minutes and thought about what he had heard. Then he went to bed. He felt uneasy. Naruto decided to train even harder. The next day after the technique training, the blonde asked Lucifer to train him in controlling demon energy. Half a year passed like this. Naruto learned to control 50% of his unsealed demonic power. During this time, he was sealed 9 more times, so about 80% of his power is sealed. Naruto came to Demilurg again. Hey old man, I finished training with Lucifer. What should I do next? Decide for yourself. You can go to the human world and develop there on your own, or you can go to the higher demons and learn from them there. Well, I think there's something to learn from the greater demons. But I haven't seen a single greater demon in all this time, except for you. You said they live in the castle, but I can't even sense their presence. You are right, they are not in the castle itself. All the others live deep under the palace. A very powerful barrier was put there, that is why you could not feel their presence. Follow me, I will take you to them, said the old man and left the room. Naruto followed him. Soon they came to a spiral staircase leading down. They walked for a long time, it seemed like it would never end, but then the entrance arch was already visible. The blonde quickened his pace and found himself in a place that was almost indistinguishable from the surface. It all looks like this because of the barrier made by Kinshin, Demilurg explained. Oh, Demilurg, long time no see. Did you really bring that boy here? Said one demon who was just passing by. His skin was gray, black as darkness, horns were 30 centimeters long, and he wore a black kimono. Hello? Naruto, meet Morv, a demon with the power of transformation. He can create anything with his demonic energy. Morv extended his hand to the blonde, who responded in kind. Can you demonstrate your ability? For example, create the strongest and sharpest katana? It's easy, said the demon. A dome of black energy enveloped him, disintegrating after 5 seconds. And Morv was already standing with a completely black katana in one hand and a red sheath in the other. Look, the blade is made from an alloy of the strongest ores in the universe, and the handle is made of demonic oak, the strongest wood in the demon world. The sheath is also made of demonic oak, but only from its branches. This katana has a self-healing spell, so it will never become dull. Great, then how much can I buy it for? It's not for sale, it's my property. But I really like competitions and games. If you find something equivalent to this katana, then I'm ready to play. I'll bet my soul, Naruto said, smirking. Shake on it, said Morv, holding out his hand for a dispute, while simultaneously looking at Demilurg, who didn't even move a muscle. Commentary on Part 7. Demonic Energy. How do you like it? Leave your comments, I'll read everything, and good luck. Sorry for being gone, I was on a trip but didn't take my keyboard with me. The trip was delayed and here it is. I'll try to release 2 parts in a day soon. Wait. Part 8. Argument with the demon. Shake on it, said Morv, holding out his hand for argument, while looking at Demilurg, but not a single muscle twitched. What competition? Naruto asked. First who can hold out longer in the enemy's demonic aura. I heard that for your age, your results are off the charts. Second, hunting monsters in the forest near the village for an hour. And third, one-on-one combat. The last one gives 2 points. So, do you agree? Morv suggested. Yes, then let's begin, said the blonde with a brutal grin. Naruto started first. He activated his aura. Morv and Damalurg entered, the latter acting as a judge. Ha, yes, in such a weak aura I can stand forever. The demon chuckled. Don't rush to conclusions, Uzumaki said. He increased the flow of demonic energy, and then Morv felt that he had only 10 minutes left. And so it happened 10 minutes later, the demon fell to his knees. So, Naruto's time is 10 minutes 30 seconds. Now it's Morv's turn. The demon activated his demonic aura, but because Naruto was resistant to the power of aura, he easily lasted 11 minutes. Ha, and I'm already in the lead, the blonde gloated. The second stage began. They went into the forest, where they immediately scattered in different directions. Uzumaki managed to finish off 250 monsters in an hour. But Morv was only 5 monsters behind. And now Naruto is leading 2 o'clock. Don't be too happy, there's one more test, you won't win there, the demon said threateningly. They went to the dungeon of the great demons again. Then they went to the arena for fighting and training. Naruto and Morv got into fighting stances. Damalurg gave the signal. The demon appeared in front of his opponent in less than an instant, and raised his hand to strike, but the blonde was not so simple either. He was able to dodge the first blow, but the second one followed with a leg to the liver. Uzumaki was unable to dodge it. He flew back 30 meters. Naruto ran up to Morv at great speed and began a nasty blow, but the demon did not even move. The blonde suspected something was wrong and instantly jumped back. Morv appeared in the place where he stood, and the one he attacked was just an illusion. The young Uzumaki began to be surrounded by many illusions, then they all began to move towards him at the same time. Naruto attacked them all with the Great Fire Destruction technique, but all the damage passed through. The blonde realized that none of them were real and started looking for the original, ignoring the others. Then a strong blow flew into his back, and then into his head, and everywhere. It turned out that these were not exactly illusions. They could attack, but they did not work on them. Naruto could not withstand the barrage of blows and fell. Soon he woke up and saw Morv and Damalurg in front of him. You're no slouch, kid, you were able to resist me and my dolls for so long. Okay, as a token of recognition, I'll give you this katana. What? Dolls? So you're a puppeteer? Yes, I can create thousands of dolls from my aura and control them. They cannot take damage, but they can beat up the enemy well, as you experience yourself. Ahem. Yes. By the way, why didn't you just sell or give me the katana right away? Well, you know, everything has its limit. I can't always create such swords and I can't make this katana again in 1,000 years. I can't just throw them around. And thanks to the tests, I realized that you are worthy of this katana. But be careful with it. At the moment it is practically the strongest sword. There are several seals on it that give it abilities. Which? It can absorb the opponent's chakra and give it to you. It can copy 2 techniques. But after use it is emptied and you need to copy the technique again. There are a couple more trump cards, but the most important one is that you can place the soul of any creature in it, and this katana will be able to use all the abilities of the sealed one. And you will also be able to negotiate and become friends with the sealed one. That's all. This is simply incredible work. Now I understand why you don't want to give it to just anyone. Have you created similar katanas before? No, this is the strongest. But there are other things in the human world that I created. The strongest of them are what you call the Kusanagi blades and the Yato mirror. I also created 7 swords of unusual shapes and sent them to the human world. It seems that the Mist Village now has them. And all this is you? It's just incredible. Can this be learned? Yes, but only if you have a predisposition, like me. But how can you check this? Follow me, I'll tell you everything. Follow me, I'll tell you everything. Damalurg said goodbye and went about his business. Morv took the boy to his home, where he got some kind of ball. This ball will help you find your predisposition to any power. Just touch it. Naruto put his hand on the ball and waited for a reaction. The ball, transparent as water, turned black and then split. What does this mean? Asked the blonde. It's a pity you don't have hidden power, just huge demonic energy. But you can be proud, your power was able to destroy the ball, A third of the higher demons are capable of this. Naruto was very upset about this, but he still stayed in this dungeon until he was 7 years old. Here he communicated with each of the greater demons, learned several techniques from them, but he worked the most with Kenshin. From him, he learned many barrier seals. But there was a lot to learn from the others as well. Today the blonde went to Damlerg. "Hello Naruto, did something happen?" "Yes, I want to return to my world, and perhaps for a long time." "Okay, so be it. But you must swear allegiance to the demon clan. That you will never go to war against us, and will come to our aid in any battle." "Yes, how can I do this?" "There is an altar on the 5th floor of the castle. You must spill your blood over it. If you ever betray us, you will regret it." "Got it," Uzumaki said and went upstairs. There he did everything as Damlerg said. The altar glowed red, the blonde's name appeared on the water, and then it sank to the bottom. Naruto went to his world. He found himself in his room. It was late at night. Uzumaki had dispelled his clone. The entrance ceremony was to take place tomorrow. The blonde decided to show the third what he was capable of in order to quickly become a shinobi. The next morning he went to the academy building. There he listened to a boring speech from Irika, and then the Hokage. Everyone was sent one by one into the classrooms to see their abilities. Finally, Naruto was announced. He entered the office, the Hokage was sitting in the corner, and Irika was at the teacher's table. "Show me what you can do," Yamano said. The blonde created 5 clones. They turned into Hashirama Senju, Tobirama Senju, Madara Uchiha, Sarutobi Hiruzen and Minato Namikaze. Both the Hokage and the teacher's mouths dropped open at the sight. They decided that he had no business hanging out at the academy, and made him a genin. The Hokage asked the blonde to show him something else. Naruto raised his index finger, and a small whirlwind appeared on it. Then he raised his second finger, and a second whirlwind appeared on it, but this time with flames. There were 5 of these whirlwinds, with water, with lightning, and with stones. This again greatly surprised Hiruzen and Irika. After all, this meant that Naruto at the age of 7 had all 5 elements, and also chakra control at the level of Jonin. The Hokage told Naruto to come to him tomorrow. This was the end of the entrance ceremony for the young Uzumaki. The next day, the blonde man, as said, came to the third's office. "Hello, old man third, why did you call?" The blonde said indifferently. "Yes, I have seen your abilities and have decided to assign you to a new ANBU squad. Your 2 partners will be arriving soon," Hiruzen said. 2 shinobi in ANBU uniforms entered the office. One of them wore a faceless mask with an angel painted on it. The other wore a bear mask. "Take off your masks," the third ordered. The faceless man took off his mask. He was very pale. His white hair was tousled in all directions. The bear took off his mask. He was tanned and had black hair. He also had several scars on his face. "Hello, my name is William," said the white-haired man, extending his hand to the blonde. "Nice to meet you, Naruto," Uzumaki said, extending his hand in response. "And I am Rigger," said the second ANBU. "Well, since you've met, take Naruto to the base and give him the equipment and mask he asks for," Hiruzen said, sitting down with the papers again. "Well, since you've met, take Naruto to the base and give him the equipment and mask he asks for," Hiruzen said, sitting down to write again. The Trinity left the office. "William, how old are you and where are you from? You're not from Konoha, are you?" Naruto asked. I'm 17 years old. I come from a small village in the Land of Fire. I came here with my family. I recently joined the NBU. I see, and you, Rigger, how old are you? You might not know it from me, but I'm already 50 years old. I'm one of the most experienced NBU. I joined this organization almost immediately after the inauguration of the third Hokage. Naruto, now it's your turn, William said with a good-natured smile. I'm 7 years old. As you understand, I just joined the NBU. Well, here we are, said both NBU. What? But we didn't leave the residence building? Rigger opened the door they were standing in front of without a word. He then walked in and started to descend the spiral staircase. The white-haired man followed suit and waved his hand, beckoning Naruto to follow him. The blonde followed them. This staircase was not as long as the one in the demon castle, only 150 meters deep. When they descended the last step, they found themselves in a dimly lit corridor. The three walked forward, passing 10 doors. Rigger stopped in front of one. He entered that room, and the others followed him. It was a small room. In the right corner there was a table. On it were pills and dry rations. On the left there were cabinets for things. "Make yourself comfortable, your locker is in the corner, and I'll bring you some masks to choose from," William said and left. After a while, the white-haired man brought several masks. Naruto began to examine each of them. He liked the fox mask the most. "Okay, well, if we've sorted that out, then we should at least have one training session together to improve our teamwork," Rigger suggested. Yes. They went to the training ground, which was not far from their room. There they did a little warm-up, trained on the simulators and worked out a couple of techniques. Then they started to come up with combat tactics and tried to carry them out. And so Naruto's first day in the NBU passed. The next morning, at 7 o'clock, the newly formed team stood on one knee in the Hokage's office. A ++ rank mission. Your task is to eliminate a group of criminals. These criminals rob merchants on the roads, and recently they made their way into several small villages of the Land of Fire and plundered everything there. You will learn the rest of the information from the documents, said the third. Hi! Hokage-sama! The three shouted and disappeared. They set off on a journey that took them 6 hours of fast running. They stopped near a clearing. There were about 30 people sitting there, apparently dividing up the reward. The ANBU quickly eliminated the sentries that were standing around the clearing. Then they started on the rest. In an instant, only one enemy remained. How dare you kill my people? Know the pain, damn ANBU! The criminal shouted, pulling out his sword and raising it into the sky. 12 lightning bolts struck near him. Then people appeared in that place. What? Didn't expect it? This is the Yatsufuso sword, and those I summoned are dead, but they were very strong when they were alive. Have fun with them, the criminal said and ran away. Naruto tried to follow him, but the way was blocked by the dead. The blonde stabbed one of them in the chest, but he didn't care. Uzumaki jumped back. Rigger took out a gumbai and cut off the summoned one's head, but he didn't care. Then William decided to try to cut one into pieces, but after doing this, each part began to move on its own. Naruto couldn't stand it and folded the seals. A mini hurricane appeared between the dead. All of them were sucked into this hurricane. After that, the blonde snapped his fingers, and this whirlwind flared with a bright flame and began to sparkle with lightning. When the technique disappeared, there was no trace of the bodies, nor of the one who summoned these dead. William climbed a tree and tried to track the enemy's chakra. Soon, he pointed his finger in the direction of the criminal. All 3 of them moved there. After a while, they managed to catch up with the necromancer. Naruto, without ceremony, pierced the enemy's heart, and he fell without breathing. The blonde sealed the sword in a scroll, and then they all went back to Konoha. The blonde sealed the sword in a scroll and they all headed back to Konoha. In the third's office. Hokage-sama, the mission is complete. Everything went smoothly, no problems arose, Naruto reported. Hiruzen looked at the rest of the ANBU, then at Naruto. Is that all? The old man asked. No, one criminal had a special sword. He said it was the Yatsufuso sword, the blonde said, unsealing the blade and handing it to the third. Okay, this sword will be kept under guard. At the right moment it will play an important role, Hiruzen said and put 3 stacks of money on the table. The ANBU took the reward and went to the base. There they changed into their normal clothes and went to the village. Rigger went home, and Naruto and William decided to go to Ichiraku. They got to know each other better at the diner. After that, they went home. So 1 year passed. Their team was considered the strongest in Konoha, and even in the shinobi world. And Naruto was recognized as the strongest. In just 1 year, they completed 200 missions of the highest ranks. One mention of their team is enough to make medium and small criminals run away in fear. Now they were receiving a new assignment from the Hokage. Ahem. As you know, we will soon be holding the Chunin exam. Guests from Suna and several villages of the Fire Country will be coming here. We must ensure the safety of this exam. Therefore, Naruto, you will act as a participant, William, you will be the examiner, and Rigger will perform his usual duties. You can go get ready. It will start in 2 days. Hi, Hokage-sama! They shouted back. The ANB went to their base, where they changed their clothes and went to the village. Rigger, as always, went his own way. Naruto and William went together. They talked for a long time, but were interrupted by cries for help. The friends immediately moved towards this sound. It turned out that several shinobi from the grass village captured a little girl, the same age as Naruto. She had long black disheveled hair, different eyes, one blood red, the other sky blue. She wore a black blouse with red circles on her shoulders. Her pants were also black, as were the shinobi sandals. What an ugly woman! How can you live with such an appearance? Mocked the guy who was holding the girl by the collar of her sweater. What did she do to you? Naruto asked. What difference does it make to you? Do you want to stand up for her? Meanwhile, William was near that guy in an instant and took the girl, then returned back. What? Who are you? It's better for you not to get involved in a fight within the borders of someone else's village, which is much stronger than yours, so it's better for us to just go our separate ways, Uzumaki said in a measured tone. The grass genin considered Naruto's words and retreated. William placed the girl on the ground. What is your name? The white-haired man asked. Yuki, Kamado Yuki. Okay, Yuki, where are you from? I recently arrived in Konoha from a village in the Land of Fire. I entered the academy here, but they bully me there too. Where are your parents? Naruto asked. They are at home. Show us, we'll take you, William suggested. Kamado nodded and led the boys to her home. At the door they were met by a man with red hair and the same eyes. Daddy! Yuki shouted and ran into her father's arms. Thank you, my daughter is always running away and getting into trouble. Has she caused you any inconvenience? By the way, I'm Shin Kamado. Very nice to meet you. No, she didn't cause us any inconvenience, William said and smiled. Shin Kamado? Aren't you the one who recently joined the ANBU squad? Naruto asked. Where did you get this information? As one of the ANBU, I possess such knowledge. I would like to talk to you, the blonde said. Okay, come in, Shin said, letting the guests into the house. Yuki immediately ran upstairs, apparently to her room. So what did you want to talk about? The owner of the house asked already in the kitchen. I have personally seen your abilities and skills. Yuki has the same potential as you. But there is also another power, and it is very big. Who is her mother? Naruto asked. Her name was Otsutsuki Akira. Her name was Otsutsuki Akira. Where is she now? Naruto asked. I'll take you upstairs under the powerful barrier, Shin said and went to the stairs. Naruto and William followed him. Kamado opened one of the doors. There was a girl lying on the bed, who was very weak. She had white skin, sky blue eyes, white hair, and was wearing a white kimono. Shin touched the barrier, and a passage opened. Everyone entered. Shin, who are they? Why did you bring them? Akira asked warily. He asked who Aki's mother was, Kamado said. But you could have lied, Otsutsuki said. He couldn't do it, that's my specialty, said the blonde. Who are you? Naruto Uzumaki. Now my question. Where did you come from? And how did you get to Earth? I came from the moon. Since childhood, I was humiliated for the color of my eyes, and later for the fact that I did not have dozutsu. Although I had chakra, like everyone else, only our leader, Hamura, supported me. But he died recently. The clan was divided into the main and side branches. The side branch was able to kill all the representatives of the main branch. During this confusion, I was able to move to Earth. Here I met Shin and gave birth to a daughter. But I am still afraid that they will find me and kill my entire family. So I fenced myself with a barrier. It feeds on my chakra. Okay, I want to see what a member of the Otsutsuki clan can do. I will help you and set up my own barrier. You will be able to restore your strength and show what you are capable of. Thank you, Akira said. Naruto made a few seals and a new barrier appeared that would feed on nature chakra. After that, he and William left the house. 2 days passed. Naruto came to the academy building to take the written exam. He knew what the catch was, so he passed it easily. Then they were taken to the forest of death. Mitarashi Enka explained the rules and left. The blonde pretended to do it for 5 days so that no one would suspect anything, because he was without a team. Finally, the third stage arrived, the examiner of which was William. "Well done, Naruto, your mission is complete," William said. "Yes," the blonde said indifferently. Naruto simply lost his first fight and waited for the stage to end in the stands. Finally, the last fight ended, but suddenly everyone started falling asleep. Of course, Naruto and William remained conscious. "What happened?" William asked, confused. "It looks like a genjutsu of sleep. Someone wants to attack while everyone is sleeping." "But who and whom?" "Hokage!" the white-haired man exclaimed and rushed to the box where the third was sitting. But he wasn't there. William used his sensory abilities and set off. Naruto ran after him. They arrived at the roof of a tall building. Old man Hiruzen was fighting someone in a white cloak. All this was happening within a powerful barrier. "Damn, Third Sama is losing, what should we do?" William said. Naruto tried to break the barrier, but his normal strength didn't work. Then Uzumaki used demonic energy. The barrier collapsed. Someone in a cloak made seals and summoned 2 birds with fiery red plumage. They began to launch powerful fire techniques. "Sharon, Lucifer," Naruto said. 2 demons appeared near him. "Deal with the birds," the blonde ordered. Young Uzumaki went to help the third one. But then an arrow of light flew at that man and completely destroyed him. "Naruto, I didn't want to believe it for a long time, but now I know for sure. You are a demon." Part 13. Angel and Demon. Naruto, I didn't want to believe it for a long time, but now I know for sure. You are a demon, William said. But he didn't look like he usually did. He was now wearing a white kimono that was pulled down to his waist, angel wings were sticking out of his back, and he was holding a bow in his hands. 1.5 years ago. "William, my son, I sense the power of demons in Konoha. You must go there immediately and find the demon," the elderly man said, lying in bed. "Our days. For the past 1.5 years, I've been looking for the demon that entered the human world, but I couldn't find it. Then you joined ANBU, they tested you, but didn't find any demon powers. But it was you, after all," William said. "So you're an angel? And what are you going to do with me?" Naruto said, calling Sharon and Lucifer away. "You must die as my ancestors died at the hands of demons. But I don't want to fight with you. I consider you my friend. Let's bury the hatchet of war between the races." "No! I will never calm down." William shot Hiruzen and put him to sleep. "Now no one will bother us." The white-haired man started shooting Naruto, who in turn ran away from the village. William went after him. Finally, Uzumaki reached the forest. The angel continued to attack. Then Damilurg appeared. "Naruto, why are you running away from the angel? You have to kill him," Damilurg said. "No, I don't want this. He's my friend," the blonde began. "You put your name in the fountain. You have T.O., the old man shouted, and the blonde felt uneasy, as if something in his body had caught fire. He felt very hot. His hands automatically grabbed the katana. Naruto ran towards William, dodging his arrows. Finally, he ran up to the angel and knocked the bow out of his hands. Then Uzumaki bit his finger, and ran his blood along the blade of the sword. It began to glow. After that, Naruto pierced the enemy's heart with the katana. The angel's body turned to ashes. "Naruto, if this happens again, I will be disappointed in you, and if I am disappointed in you, you will become a nobody in the demon world. Remember, I will keep an eye on you," Damilurg said and disappeared. The blonde put his sword back in its sheath, paid tribute to William and went to Konoha. There, everyone began to come to their senses, and the young Uzumaki went to the third. "Naruto, what happened? Where is William? He destroyed the enemy, and then I don't remember anything," Hiruzen asked. "Ahem. William. After he shot your opponent, he was sure that he had killed him. But it turned out that it was not so. He waited for the moment and inflicted a serious wound on William. Then he tried to escape, and William went after him. When I came, they killed each other. What? William lost? But who was the attacker? I couldn't see his face, sorry. You have nothing to apologize for. We need to bury William. Where is his body? There was no body left. They used their most powerful techniques, Naruto said, lowering his head. Okay, go home. Come to my residence tomorrow, Hiruzen said and began to fall. Uzumaki caught him. Old man third, are you okay? Old age is no joy. I'm fine, I'll get there on my own. Naruto nodded and went to help the others who were trying to identify the victims. The next day, he came to the Hokage's office in Anbu gear. All the clan heads and elders of Konoha were gathered there. Commentary on Part 13. Angel and Demon. As promised, the second part for the day. Part 14. The fifth Hokage. The next day, he came to the Hokage's office in Anbu gear. All the clan heads and elders of Konoha were gathered there. Fox, come in, said the Hokage. Naruto walked over and stood behind the third. So, everyone is here. The first thing I would like to tell you all is that I am stepping down as Hokage. What? But why? I'm already too old, and it's time to hand over the reins of power to a new generation, Hiruzen said, taking a drag. Okay, but then we need to choose the next Hokage. Shimura Danzo began. Not so fast, Shimura, I already have a candidate, and he is here right now, Sarutobi said. Who is this? The strongest Anbu of Konoha. He is standing right behind me. Wait, but not everyone here knows who this is, said Fugaku Uchiha. Fox, take off your mask, the Hokage ordered. Naruto took off his Anbu mask. Uzumaki Naruto, Fugaku whispered. Are there any other candidates? Hiruzen asked. I will, Danzo suggested. Then let's hold a vote. Who is for Shimura Danzo to become the fifth Hokage? 2 elders and Danzo himself raised their hands. 3 votes, and now, who is for Naruto Uzumaki to become the fifth Hokage? All clan heads raised their hands. It is decided, Naruto Uzumaki becomes the fifth Hokage. We will hold the inauguration tomorrow, but for now, everyone is free. The elders and clan heads left the office, but Naruto remained. Old man third, why me? Everyone hates me. You deserve it. You are the strongest shinobi in the village, and your intellect is at a high level. It will come in handy in the post of Hokage. Well, if you want, you don't have to reveal your identity right away. Let everyone know that the new Hokage is the great fox of Konoha. I'm sure you will make many right decisions in the post, then reveal your identity. You'll see, everyone will accept you. Well, okay, I trust you, old man third. Naruto left too. The next day, as agreed, Hiruzen stepped down as Hokage and immediately held the inauguration of the new head of the village. Naruto came out in his fox mask. Everyone knew that the new Hokage was the strongest Anbu in the village, but not everyone was happy that he did not reveal his identity. But they were afraid to speak out publicly. Well, William was officially recognized as having died on a mission. After the inauguration, the blonde held a council of clan heads and elders of Konoha. So, the first thing I would like to discuss is the removal of power from the 3 Konoha elders. What? How dare you? You just came to the position and already want to overthrow us? Danzo flared up. Yes, that's right. Only the clan heads vote, the elders don't participate, Uzumaki said calmly. All clan heads voted to overthrow the elders. Unanimously, the 3 elders no longer participate in meetings to govern the village. Let's move on to the second issue, disbanding the root Anbu. What? You have no right! Shimura shouted. Of course I do. So voting. Everyone voted yes again. Unanimously, root Anbu is disbanded as of this moment. Several Anbu squads have already been sent to the root storage facility. You won't be sitting in this place for long, Danzo whispered. At that moment, an Anbu wearing a bear mask appeared. Hokage-sama, here are scrolls with important information from the root, the Anbu member said. Naruto revealed them all. Well, based on the information in these scrolls, all 3 elders have committed several acts that could make them traitors to the village. Take them into custody. Several ANBU appeared and captured the two elders, and Danzo began to resist. Then one of the elite shinobi had to kill him by piercing his heart. But Shimuro remained on his feet. Hayashi Hyuga activated his Byakugan. He has several Sharingans in his right hand, and another one is transplanted into his right eye socket, Hugo said. So that's where those shinobi went, Fugaku Uchiha said, clenching his fists. Naruto didn't hesitate, and, instantly appearing in front of him, cut off his hand and gouged out his eye. Damn demon! Danzo said. He was taken into custody, as were other elders. Ahem. Let's continue the council, Naruto said, sitting down in his place. The third thing we need to talk about is the Uchiha clan and the Konoha police. Since the root ANBU has been disbanded, its place will be taken by the police, which consists of members of the Uchiha clan. Therefore, I propose to move the clan closer to the center of the village, and hand over the root headquarters to the police. But where will an entire clan settle if all the areas are occupied? Hayashi said. Yes, so we will demolish the current arena, which takes up a lot of space. It will be enough for the entire Uchiha clan to move in. We will build a new arena on the edge of the village. This proposal completely satisfied everyone present. Well, the last topic is the distribution of shinobi by rank. We need to conduct an exam for all shinobi of the village, from Genin to Jounin and even ANBU. Okay, but who's going to do it? Fugaku asked. I'll do it personally, Naruto said. But you'll already have a lot of paperwork. Are you going to leave it to someone else? Shikaku Nara asked. No, I can handle it myself. This concludes the meeting of the clan heads. You can begin your duties, said the blonde. After these words, everyone stood up and left the office one by one. Only Fugaku remained. He thanked the new Hokage for what he had done. Then he left too. Uzumaki created a clone and left him to do the paperwork, and he went to the arena. Naruto created 50 hands from stone and began to dismantle the structure with them. It took less than an hour. Then he built a new district with those same hands. Only a day passed, and the entire Uchiha clan had moved. And the new Hokage began conducting exams for shinobi, of course, with the help of his clones. With these tests he tested endurance, strength, chakra volume, intelligence, and the ability to think in dangerous situations. During these tests, Naruto demoted half of the ANBU to Jonin and Chunin, 80 Jonin, and several Chunin and Genin. But there were still shinobi whom the Hokage promoted. A whole squad of the chosen ones was also assembled. There were only the strongest. This squad included Uchiha Itachi, Uchiha Shursui, Kamado Shin, and Hatake Kakashi. Naruto called them all to his office. Hello, Hokage-sama, the four said as they entered the office. Greetings. As you know, you have been chosen for a special squad, which I will personally lead. From this day on, you are all my assistants, but you need to become even stronger. Everyone looked at the village head in bewilderment. So, to become stronger, you need to become Sanin. This will give you a huge surge of strength, and will also erase your shortcomings in chakra volumes. Commentary on Part 14. The Fifth Hokage. Sorry, I was busy. I just managed to finish writing the new part. Part 15. The Seven Sanin of Konoha. But Hokage-sama, some of us have already signed summoning contracts. There is no way they can teach us the Sanin mode, Kakashi said. It's very easy to solve. I'll help you sign a new contract without breaking the old one, Naruto said. The blonde stood up and made several seals, and a row of scrolls appeared on the table. These are summoning contracts. You can choose any of them. Then you need to fold the reverse summoning seals. When you find yourself in another world, say that you came from Naruto Uzumaki. Everyone there will understand everything. When you learn the Sanin mode, return back. Fifth Sama, where did you get these contracts? Shursui asked. Everyone has their own secrets, Uzumaki said with a grin. Among the higher demons, there is one who holds all the summoning contracts, and since Naruto was trained by him, he received several of them. Kakashi, Shursui, Itachi, and Shin walked up to the table. Hatake chose to summon wolves, Shursui chose a cheetah, Itachi chose a phoenix, and Shin chose a gorilla. Well, you can go now, don't rush back. There is a temporary seal in each summoning world, so you have plenty of time, Naruto said. All four nodded and, having made seals, disappeared. Half a year passed. During this time, Konoha began to be considered the strongest village. The percentage of completed missions is 100. Of course, now the pay has increased. Naruto completed several missions on his own. During one of them he managed to lure the great Sannin Orochimaru to his side, with all his experiments and servants. Among them were several seriously ill, but Tsunade Senju herself, who was called by the 5th Hokage, took on the treatment. She was still able to cure them. After which they joined the ranks of ANBU. And the last thing that happened was Naruto's meeting with the Nine Tails. It happened during the Blonde's meditation in the Forest of Death. He found himself in a sewer up to his neck in water, like the volume of chakra. He tried to dive to the bottom, swam down 10 meters, but did not even come close to seeing the floor. Then Uzumaki rose to the surface of the water and went to explore the place where he ended up. Soon he came out into a spacious room. There were small elevations from the water. On the largest elevation there was a golden cage with a SI seal. Naruto came closer to it. So much chakra, and in such a small body, who are you? Said the huge fox with 9 tails. Kyubi, I've wanted to see you for a long time, but you were always sleeping. My name is Naruto Uzumaki. Now tell me yours. Ha, you think that if you have a lot of chakra I will tell you my name? I want it the easy way, but you apparently don't. You know, I know the demon clan, you have old scores to settle. If you don't obey me, I'll give you to them, they'll find a way to have fun with you, Naruto said with a sinister smile. Demons? Where are you from? I'm the future Demon King, and you better not anger me. The Demon King? Kurama, my name is Kurama. That's better, but I don't want to keep you in slavery. I hope we can become friends, Naruto said. The blonde came closer to the cage, and the water lifted him to the seal. Uzumaki tore it off, but there was a lock underneath. Naruto made several seals, and a scroll key appeared in his hand. With its help, he opened the cage with Kyubi. The blonde extended his fist to Kurama, and he extended his in response. Present day. Naruto was sitting in his office, doing some paperwork, when suddenly Kakashi, Shin, Itachi, and Shursui appeared in front of his desk. Hello, Hokage-sama! All four shouted. Yes. Great, now we have 7 Sannin in Konoha, said the Hokage. 7? You mean Orochimaru too? Kakashi asked. That's right, but don't worry, he really is on our side. Well, for now you can take a walk around the village, tomorrow I'll give you a mission, said the blonde, burying himself in the papers again. Commentary on Part 15. The 7 Sannin of Konoha. How do you like it? Leave your comments, I'll read everything, and good luck. Part 16. Village borders. That's right, but don't worry, he really is on our side. Well, for now, you can take a walk around the village, tomorrow I'll give you a mission, said the blonde, burying himself in papers again. The next day, the same 4 entered the 5th Hokage's office again. So, your task is to temporarily guard the northern, southern, western and eastern borders for a week. As you understand, you must split up, you can decide for yourself who will go where, Naruto said. Yes. Hokage-sama, he heard in response. The 4 elite shinobi left the residence and began to get ready for the journey. And an hour later they set out. The Hokage left his clone to sort out the papers and went to meditate in the forest. As soon as he sat in the lotus position, Damalurg appeared. Naruto, what are you doing? Meditating. Old man, do you need something? Yes, I want to know why your powers have hardly increased in half a year. What are you even doing here? Or have you forgotten that you are supposed to lead the demon nation? I'll still have time for that. I'll have time to gain enough strength, don't worry. Okay, but know that if you stop being useful, I will find a way to pass your power on to someone more worthy. After all, there are many candidates in the world of people. So do not disappoint me, the old man said and disappeared again. Naruto slammed his fist into the ground, causing a crater with a radius of 10 meters to form. Damn Damalurg! The blonde shouted. Naruto, why don't you fight them back? Kurama asked. This old man sealed away most of my powers, so in this state I can't do anything to him. But you can accumulate even more demon powers, I can see that. And I can look for a solution to the problems with the seals. What? But why do you need it? You yourself know that I have old scores to settle with these people. Okay, that's what we'll do. The Hokage sat in the lotus position again, but now he increased the volume of demonic energy. 3 days passed. Uzumaki had not made much progress in his development, as had Kurama in solving the seals. Now Naruto was sitting in his office and raking through piles of papers. Then Kotetsu, the guard, entered the office. Naruto-sama, news from Kamado Shin. Kotetsu said. Recently, the 5th Hokage revealed his identity to the public. Not everyone reacted positively to this, but after realizing how many useful actions he had done, they also recognized him. Speak. His summoning transmitted a message. It says that today, at 12 o'clock in the afternoon, at a distance of several dozen kilometers, Shin sensed the approach of several hundred jonin from the stone village. He made the decision to eliminate possible opponents at the moment of crossing the border. Kotetsu reported. Okay, I'm heading there personally right now. Naruto said and, creating a clone, jumped out the window. He used demonic energy and a small portion of Kurama's chakra to speed up. He reached the scene in 2 hours. When he arrived, Shin had already fought and defeated about 200 shinobi, while there were only 300. He didn't look like his usual self. His hair on his head was a little longer, and black spirals appeared on his cheeks. He was wearing a gray cloak with the word Sannin written on it in a language other than human. He also had more arms, 4, each of which was covered in fur along the entire forearm. He had a sword in each hand. As soon as Naruto came closer, Kamado immediately moved towards him. Even greater panic began among the shinobi from the stone. This is the 5th Hokage. They all said with horror. Well done, Shin, you tried hard, you can remove the Sannin mode. Yes. Kamado said and became the same, and next to him appeared one gorilla, which was Shin's swords. The Hokage stepped forward a little and made several seals. All the shinobi from the stone found themselves under a very powerful barrier. Uzumaki approached the barrier closely. You will sit here until your Tsuchikage comes to the rescue, Naruto said. 2 hours passed, and the old man in the Kage had appeared on the horizon with his servants. Hey, Hokage, what do you mean by this? Why did your shinobi kill several hundred of my soldiers, and you captured the rest of them? I should be asking. How should this be understood? Why did your people try to cross the border without permission? It was the shortest route. Oanoki began. I don't care. You know what? If you want to avoid problems and the subsequent war, you should apologize for this and sign the contract on my terms. What? How dare you? You brat Hokage, Tsuchikage shouted. Brat Hokage? It seems like you are too old to dare to speak such words towards the Kage of another village. We will not be able to build a friendly relationship with you, Naruto said in a cold voice. Anoki created a dust technique and sent it to the barrier where his subordinates were sitting. A hole was formed, but it began to recover. But during this time, all the jonin of the stone managed to get out. Tsuchikage sent a dust technique to Naruto and Shin. Uzumaki created a wall of stone that blocked the attack. As soon as the wall disintegrated, the Konoha people saw that Tsuchikage and his subordinates were running away from the battlefield right through the air. Kamado was about to go after them, but Naruto stopped him. No need, let them run. You've accomplished your mission, let's go to Konoha. Commentary on Part 16. Village Boundaries. How do you like it? Leave your comments, I'll read everything, and good luck. Part 17. The Power of the Sannin. No need, let them run. You've completed your mission, let's go to Konoha, Naruto said. What? But Hokage-sama, it was their fault that the battle started, so why are we letting them go? Shin asked. You'll find out everything soon, but for now go home, said the blonde. Kamado nodded and headed towards Konoha. An ANBU in a bear mask appeared next to Naruto. Hokage-sama, a message from Itachi Uchiha. He, like Kamado's Shin, sensed the approach of the Cloud Village troops. The NSA agent reported. Okay, I'm heading there, Uzumaki said and, turning around, ran to the other border. He also used demonic energy and Bijou chakra. Thanks to this, he was able to get there in just 3 hours. Once again, Naruto arrived in the middle of the action. Apparently, Itachi was also in Sannin mode. His entire body was covered in scarlet flames. Itachi had complete control over these flames and burned his opponents one by one. Uchiha, sensing his Hokage's chakra, moved towards him. You did a good job, Itachi. From now on I'll do it myself, Uzumaki said. Got it! Itachi shouted and put out the flame. Suddenly, the remnants of the enemy troops parted, and the Raikage stepped forward. Greetings, Naruto said, smiling. Hokage, so you are the genius who became the head of the village at the age of 8? My best spies were unable to find out anything about you, so who are you? And who is this shinobi next to you? Who am I? I am Naruto Uzumaki, former ANBU of Konoha. And this is Uchiha Itachi, member of my special squad of the strongest shinobi. Besides him there are 3 more. 3 more? He was able to defeat several hundred of my subordinates on his own, and he's not the only one, Yae said to himself. Listen, Raikage, as you understand, the military power of my village is many times greater than yours, even taking into account the Jinchuriki. I propose concluding a peace and trade treaty, but with a few nuances. What other nuances? I'm telling you right away I won't give up the Jinchuriki. Don't worry, I don't need them. I want all the Uzumaki clan members from your village to go to Konoha. I really want to revive the Majestic clan. I will settle them in Konoha for the time being, and then I will restore Izushio. As you understand, this is also very beneficial for you. The Raikage thought about the offer for a moment, and happily agreed to the terms. Thus, the 2 great hidden villages signed a peace treaty. Naruto sent Itachi back to the village and decided to check out the rest of the borders. When the Hokage arrived at the border where Shursui was standing, he was in Sannin mode. But it seemed he wasn't using it to attack, but to track down enemies. As soon as the blonde approached within 5 kilometers, the Uchiha appeared right in front of him, covered in golden chakra with small dots. His Sannin mode allows him to move at high speeds, comparable to Hiraishin. Yes, I understand that Hiraishin is teleportation. Naruto also sent him to Konoha. Then he went to Kakashi. He was also in his Sannin mode. He was wearing a white cloak with the word Sannin written on it in an inhuman language. From under the mask on his face, under his eyes, some kind of seal was visible. Naruto sent him to Konoha, and he himself headed there. In the Hokage's office. The 5th called all members of the elite squad to his office. So, we were able to sign a treaty with the Cloud Village. Members of the Uzumaki clan will arrive soon, and then you will go with several of them to Izushio in order to find a certain place. Commentary on Part 17. The Power of the Sannin. How do you like it? Leave your comments, I'll read everything, and good luck. Part 18. New Order. Naruto sent him to Konoha, and then he went there himself. The Hokage gathered all the Sannin in his office. So, I have a task for you all, Naruto said. I hope it's something quick, I have a lot to do, Jiraiya whispered. I'm afraid you won't be able to finish quickly, Jiraiya. You must create your own squads of 10 to 20 people each. You can choose according to your own criteria. Can I take whoever I want? Orochimaru asked. Yes, except for civilians and clan heads, otherwise you have no restrictions. Oh yeah, you can't take children. The young Hokage looked at the snake Sannin with a threat. Hokage-sama, what should I do if a person doesn't want to join my squad? Shursui asked. You are all Konoha Sannin. It is unlikely that anyone would not want to be under your command. Any other questions? Yes, what is the deadline for the mission? Shin asked. A week. That's it, you can go. The 7 nodded and left the office. Suddenly Naruto's sword glowed white. Uzumaki stood up, created a clone and jumped out the window. He ran into the forest. Coming out to the edge, Naruto took out his sword. Once the katana was completely released, the blonde found himself in an incomprehensible place. Everything here was white, the floor he was standing on, the walls and the ceiling. Uzumaki looked around and saw a tall, white-haired guy standing with his back to him. "William," was all Naruto could say. "Why didn't you just kill me like your ancestors?" his former friend said in a cold voice. "Wait, let me explain everything." "No, get out of here, demon." As soon as William finished his sentence, Naruto was thrown out of the place. He tried to return, but his attempts were in vain. And then, as luck would have it, Damlerg appeared. "You have disappointed me again, Naruto. You did not kill that angel. That is a serious offense." "Wait." But it was too late. The old man pierced his chest with his hand. Naruto fell on the grass and lost consciousness. A few hours later. "Hokage-sama, wake up." Naruto somehow opened his eyes. Next to him stood an Anbu in a bear mask. "Ah, Rigger? What happened?" "I don't know, I just came here, and you were unconscious." "Okay, you can go. Eat." The Anbu member has disappeared. "How strange, I don't feel the demon powers that I had before. Only crumbs of them remain," Naruto thought. The blonde man rose from the ground. "Damn Damlerg. Could he really seal my power so tightly that I can't even feel it?" "No, it's simply not in your body. That demon took the Demon King's power," Kurama said. "What?" But this also has its advantages." "What advantages could there be?" "Without this power, I can't even defeat a medium demon, let alone a higher one. But now you don't depend on them, you don't have to follow all their orders anymore. And besides, there's a prophecy. It says that a human child will become the new Demon King." "So what?" Damlerg said that there are other worthy children. "Yes, he did. But then why did he choose you first?" "Yes, you are right. The power of the Demon King belongs to me, and no one can take it away from me. I must restore the lost power through training and fully master it." Commentary on Part 18. New Order. How do you like it? Leave your comments, I will read everything, and good luck. Part 19. Purgatory. Part 1. I must train to regain my lost power and fully master it. Naruto began training intensively. 3 days passed. I'm so tired, Naruto said, wiping the sweat from his face. The blonde sat in the lotus position and released demonic energy. A dome with a radius of 100 meters was formed. "Despite my intense training in increasing the volume of demonic energy, I can't progress like before," Naruto said. "You're just an idiot. You don't even know how the Demon King's power works." "What? William? But what are you talking about? Do you know how the King's power works?" "Of course. But I won't deal with the owner of demonic energy." "What do you mean by this?" "Get rid of her, and I'll tell you some interesting things." "But how can I do this? Even Damlerg couldn't fully extract my power." "Your power? How naive you are. The power of the Demon King cannot belong to just one person. It was taken away from you completely, but a small amount of demonic power remains. You must undergo purification to get rid of it." "Cleansing? Please tell me how to do this." This place is far from here. It is located in a territory that does not belong to any of the great villages. You will have to go on a journey for a month, maybe even more." "Okay, I'll do it. Where is this place?" William then told about the location of the purgatory. Now Naruto had only one thing left to do: find a deputy who would manage Konoha in his absence. It couldn't be one of the Sannin, since they had to recruit their own squads and deal with them. The choice fell on 3 Shikaku Nara, Uchiha Fugaku and Hayashi Hyuga. These are some of the strongest and smartest in the village. It is also possible that by doing a common cause, the Uchihas and Hyugas will stop hating each other. The Hokage called the 3 of them to his office. "So I need to go somewhere for a month, maybe 2. I'll leave the management of the village to you 3. And if you have any trouble choosing, send a message through my personal ANBU. Bear!" Rigor appeared behind Naruto in a bear mask. "Fifth, where are you going?" Shikaka asked. "You don't need to know that. But, do you understand what depends on you?" "Yes, Hokage." Naruto disappeared. The fifth set off. As William said, the road was long, almost 3 weeks had passed, and yet the blonde moved almost without stopping. Occasionally spending the night in small villages, buying food there. Along the way, he came across small groups of bandits who tried to rob him, or the goods carts coming from large villages. Naruto easily fought them off, tied them up and took the loot. Most often, he gave their property to the merchant carts. And finally, he reached the very place his white-haired friend had spoken of. It was a huge forest with 3 huge trees towering over everything. "Naruto, there's only one step left. You have to climb each of these trees and take the key to purgatory from there," William said. "What do they look like?" Naruto asked. "I don't know, sometimes they change their appearance to preserve purgatory, so you have to find them yourself." "I have to find it? But how do I do that? These trees are so huge, it would take at least a few days to search them all," Naruto said to himself. "Idiot! You have clones," said Kurama. "Exactly." Naruto made a seal and thousands of shadow clones appeared behind him. He sent them to look for the keys, and he decided to go to the center of the forest. There was a large meadow that emitted powerful energy. "William, what is this?" This must be the place where all the keys were last used." "What? They can be used anywhere?" "Well, that's not quite true, it only works within the forest." I think if I train here, I can make good progress," Naruto thought. The blonde sat in the lotus position and began to disperse the chakra through the channels. But as soon as he began to do this, he was suddenly pierced by a sharp pain. First in his legs, then in his torso and arms, and then in his head. AA. Commentary on Part 19. Purgatory. Part 1. I deeply apologize for such a long absence. Part 20. Purgatory Part 2. AA. Naruto fell on his side and lost consciousness. After some time, he woke up, but he couldn't open his eyes right away. He was completely exhausted, so it took him a little more time to somehow recover. In this state, he couldn't even say anything to William or Kurama. Finally Naruto stood up and sat up. "William, what was that?" Oh. Didn't I tell you?" "Didn't say what?" "Oh, how could I? Since you possess even the slightest power of a demon, and what a demon! Going to purgatory, a holy place, will be difficult for you. Why are you?" "Oh, never mind. So if I touch the key in purgatory, I'll feel this kind of pain every time." Or did the clones amplify the effect? The blonde continued to recover his strength. After some time he rose and created 100 clones. "What? Clones again? What a fool!" William said to himself. Uzumaki sent 50 clones to search for the remaining keys, and he himself went to pick up the one he had already found. He climbed the tree and soon found the key. Well, it didn't exactly look like a key, although no, it looked like a broken branch. Naruto, without thinking twice, reached for it. And as soon as his hand and this branch touched, Uzumaki felt a burning pain, but it was nothing compared to what he had experienced before. The blonde transferred the branch to his other hand and kneaded the one that had recently held the key to purgatory. The pain in my hand instantly went away as soon as I let go of it. The thought immediately flashed through Naruto's head. Uzumaki looked again at what was in his hand, but it was no longer the branch he had picked up, but a full-fledged key. So I need to find 2 more of these. Well, I guess it won't be difficult because... the boy thought. At that moment, all his clones evaporated at once. Great, here it is. Now he knew the location of the remaining keys, and Naruto immediately went to get them. 10 minutes later, he was already standing in that same clearing with all the keys. So what now? There's not even anything resembling a castle here. Naruto racked his brain. Hey, you can't handle this on your own, William said. Why? Because purgatory is a place created by the gods. And you seriously think that a pathetic demon can just enter there? I told you I'm not a demon. But if I can't open the passage because of the demon's powers, then what should I do? I can help you. Just get the sword. Naruto, without thinking twice, reached for his sword, but suddenly stopped. What can you do? You are dead. The sword contains only your soul. If you do what I said, you will understand everything. No, tell me right away. You already left something unsaid once, and then it led to terrible pain. If you don't do this, you won't be able to get into purgatory. Why would I want to go there? You haven't really explained it. Why did I go all this way? To get rid of the demonic forces. And then I can help you. In what? It doesn't matter, just trust me one last time. I won't lie to you this time, trust me. The blonde's hand, frozen just a few centimeters from the sword's hilt, began to move again. And soon 5 fingers wrapped around the hilt, and Naruto slowly pulled out the katana. Okay, now stick the sword into the ground. Uzumaki raised his katana to eye level and thrust it into the ground with a sharp, barely noticeable movement. A moment later, a yellowish mass began to flow out of the sword into the air. It soon formed the silhouette of a tall, thin man. William? The silhouette only nodded and extended his hand, begging for the keys to be given to him. Naruto stood in a stupor and couldn't even move from the spot. So William himself approached, snatched the keys, and a lock and holes for 3 keys appeared right in front of him. Another moment passed, and he was already turning the last key. The lock fell and disappeared into thin air as quickly as it appeared. A portal formed and William immediately entered it. Then Naruto had already recovered from the shock and ran after him. As soon as he entered the portal, he stuck into William's back. No, it can't be. Commentary to Part 20. Purgatory Part 2. Once again, I apologize for such a long absence. Part 21. Purgatory 3 . No, it can't be, said William. What happened? Naruto said, looking out from behind him. And then he saw something that shocked him too. Everything around was on fire. Tall trees, small houses, even a water source. William! William! Naruto shouted. The blonde seemed to be struck by lightning. He perked up and turned his gaze to Uzumaki. We need to look for survivors. If we find anyone, we can find out what happened here. William's clouded eyes seemed to clear up. He looked at Naruto firmly, and nodded gently in response. The blonde pointed a finger in front of him. The nearest human habitation is there. We need to hurry. In a moment they had reached their maximum speed. Half an hour later they were almost there. They hadn't met anyone along the way, but they had a feeling that someone was watching them. And that someone was far from weak. There's someone there! Naruto shouted, pointing forward. Let's hurry, it looks like he's not in the best condition. During this time, they forgot their past grievances and began to work together. They quickly ran up to the man in front of them. He was a middle-aged man with rough, dark skin, a small beard, and light brown hair that hung just below his shoulders. He wore a blue and white kimono. Normally, it looked great on him, but not now. Now it was covered in soot, dirt, and blood. The man looked up at the 2 people surrounding him. He opened his mouth to speak, but no sound came out. He urgently needs healing, William said, and sat down next to him and laid him on his back. The blonde reached out and stopped his hand above his head, then slowly began to move it throughout his body, pouring his own chakra into it. When he returned to his head, he abruptly pulled his hand back and tilted the man's head to the side. At the same moment, a jet-black liquid flew out of his mouth. A strange energy emanated from this liquid. What is this? Naruto argued. Simply put, these are various toxins that interfered with his own regeneration. They entered his body after the wounds he suffered. By removing them, I also immediately healed his wounds, so he will wake up soon, William explained in a slow, measured tone. That's good. But I still don't understand what kind of place this is. I imagine purgatory a little differently. That's right, you don't know. Purgatory is a small world created by one of the 10 great gods. It was his best creation, so many relics of the god race were placed here. It was originally an uninhabited place. People would go here for secluded training, to purify their bodies after a battle, and sometimes they would also undergo trials here. Initially, this world had no name, but because of one powerful relic, the Purification Pond, the term Purgatory appeared. The Purification Pond is the most famous place in this small world. By diving into it, you can get rid of the influence of demonic energy, as well as strengthen your soul, flesh and bones. This place has many uses. But the Purification Pond is not the only relic here. As for the people here, they are archangels and their descendants, as well as people from several other races. Due to the war between the races that took place several thousand years ago, all of these races sought refuge and found it here. They settled here and live there to this day. And the human race also participated. Are there any of their representatives here? Asked Naruto. No. But why? Because in that war, people betrayed the race of gods and the rest, joining the demons.